The beloved hymn Rock of Ages, Cleft for Me, is one of the most treasured hymns in Christian history. Known for its deep message of salvation, grace, and refuge in Christ. This hymn has comforted believers for more than 2 centuries. Its powerful words express humanity's helplessness before God and the saving power of Jesus Christ alone. The author, Augustus Toplady. The hymn was written by Augustus Toplady, an English Anglican minister and hymn writer born on November 4, 1740 in Farnham, Surrey, England. His father, a British army officer, died when Augustus was very young, leaving his mother to raise him. Toplady was a brilliant student and became deeply interested in theology and Christian doctrine. At the age of 16, he experienced a profound spiritual conversion while listening to a sermon preached in a humble barn by a lay preacher. This experience shaped his faith and inspired his lifelong devotion to preaching the gospel. He later became a minister in the Church of England and was known for his strong Calvinist beliefs and passionate preaching. Although he lived only 38 years, his writings and hymns left a lasting impact on Christianity. The inspiration behind the hymn. One of the most famous stories connected with the hymn tells of Toplady traveling through the countryside near the Mendip Hills in England. Suddenly, a violent storm arose, and he sought shelter in a narrow cleft in a large rock. While hiding safely from the storm, he reflected on how Christ is the believer's refuge from sin and judgment. This experience is believed to have inspired the opening line. Rock of ages, cleft for me, let me hide myself in thee. Whether fully historical or partly symbolic, the story beautifully matches the hymn's central message, that Jesus Christ is the eternal rock in whom sinners find safety and salvation. Another explanation suggests that the phrase Rock of Ages was inspired directly by biblical imagery, especially passages such as the book of Isaiah 26:4, "Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength." Book of Exodus 33:22, Moses hidden in the cleft of the rock while God's glory passed by. These scriptures deeply influenced Toplady's theology and poetry. Publication of the hymn. The hymn was first published in 1777 in a magazine article titled "A Living and Dying Prayer for the Holiest Believer in the World." It later appeared in Toplady's collection of hymns and quickly became popular among Christians across England and beyond. Unlike many hymns of the period that focused heavily on moral effort or human goodness, Rock of Ages emphasized salvation by grace alone through faith in Christ. This message resonated deeply with believers' meaning and theology. The hymn is a heartfelt prayer of dependence upon Christ. Each verse expresses profound spiritual truths. One Christ is refuge. The image of the rock represents strength, permanence, and protection. The believer hides in Christ just as someone hides in a rock during a storm. To salvation by grace, Toplady stresses that human works cannot save. Not the labor of my hands can fulfill thy law's demands. This reflects the biblical teaching that salvation comes through God's grace, not human effort. 3. Cleansing from sin. The hymn speaks of both guilt and impurity. Be of sin the double cure, save from wrath and make me pure. Christ not only forgives sin, but also transforms the believer's life. 4. Dependence until death. The final verses describe a believer approaching death with faith and hope, trusting Christ even at life's end. The hymn has been sung to several tunes over the centuries, But the most famous melody is Toplady, composed by Thomas Hastings in the 19th century. Hastings was an influential American church musician who helped shape congregational singing in churches throughout the United States. The combination of Toplady's powerful lyrics and Hastings' solemn melody created one of the most moving hymns in Christian worship. Influence around the world. Rock of Ages, Cleft for me became widely used in churches of many denominations, including Anglican, Methodist, Baptist, Presbyterian, and Catholic traditions. The hymn has been translated into numerous languages and sung in churches, revival meetings, funerals, and personal devotions worldwide. Its message of comfort and redemption continues to touch hearts across cultures and generations. Many missionaries carried the hymn overseas during the 18th and 19th centuries, helping it become a global Christian classic, used in times of suffering and comfort. Throughout history, believers have sung this hymn during difficult moments such as wars, sickness, persecution, and funerals. Its words remind Christians that Christ remains a safe refuge amid life's storms. The hymn became especially meaningful during times of national crisis because of its assurance of eternal hope. Literary beauty.